Hello, welcome back into Deb's Kitchen. I've been really busy these days. The holidays approaching. We're making a easy side dish that goes with any type of entree, turkey, ham, you name it. These are our cheesy Hashbrown potato casserole. And it's going to call for a 30-ounce bag of hash browns. And these are our ingredients here. As you can see, we have a cup of sour cream, a cup of Parmesan grated cheese. We're going to use 2 cups of shredded sharp cheese, a can of cream of chicken soup. We're going to use a stick of butter divided. And on the toppings, it's really up to your own discretion. A lot of people use panko crumbs. The original recipe called for crushed cornflakes, and I had that. It is delicious. And they used to call those funeral potatoes. And I go, why would you call something funeral potatoes? And I looked it up and I found out that this was a popular comfort food that people would bring to funerals because it was easy to prepare, went with anything, and of course it was delicious. We're also going to be using onion and garlic in this recipe. You can dice up your own garlic, mince it up finely, or take the easy way that I always use, and I buy the jarred garlic. We're going to be using salt, pepper, paprika, because that goes good with potatoes. And I'm just going to put a little parsley on the top for decoration. You don't have to do that, but I do that. First thing off, wash your hands. Always have clean hands. We're going to take our onion. We're going to cut it in half. And you could do this in advance. I'm just showing you how I cut my onion to make it easier for some of you that are wondering. I usually cut it in half, and then I cut it in half again. Take off the outer skin, because you don't want that in your food. Okay, I peeled my onion, I cut it in half, and you see it sits on the board. This is an easy tip, because the onion runs in spirals, so just make a lot of cuts in it. This will save you the hassle of having to dice and dice and dice. So do this, watch your fingers, but cut some little cuts, a couple of them, and then simply dice your onion, and you get this fine dice. First of all, set your oven to 350 to preheat, and then turn on your stove to medium high. You don't want it too high because we're melting butter, and butter burns fast. So we're putting 2 tablespoons of the stick of butter. We're going to let that melt. Our butter is almost melted, and I use pure butter. I love to use butter. It makes everything extra delicious. You can use margarine, but if you have butter and you want it to be extra rich, add butter. Now you can see that it's just melted. We don't want it all brown because it's going to burn. We're going to add in our half a cup of diced onion. There's a little skin in there. And we're just going to saute it until it's translucent. Okay, you just want to fry this until the garlic becomes fragrant, and then you're going to take it off the heat. Just like that. And don't mind this gap. I'm still waiting for my new Viking 48-inch range, and you'll see that in future videos. Okay, the next part is easy. The hard part's over. Isn't that something? So we get our thawed hash browns, and you can thaw these by just leaving them in your refrigerator if you know you're going to make them, or you can thaw them in your microwave on your thaw setting, or I put it like a minute on each side. So these are ready to go. Now we simply start adding our ingredients. We have a cup of Parmesan cheese, grated. We have a cup of sour cream. You could use Greek yogurt. People do use that if you're wanting to be somewhat health conscious. We're going to add a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of paprika, which is a good seasoning for potatoes, a teaspoon of pepper, give or take, and the parsley, let's see, I'm just going to sprinkle some in for color. Then we're going to add our can of 10.5 ounce can of chicken, cream of chicken soup, not cream of mushroom. Although you could do that, it's up to you if you don't like cream of chicken, but this is the standard recipe. Then we're going to put 2 cups of grated cheese, and I have sharp grated cheese. I always buy it by the block because to me it's more rich. If you buy it in the bag, like I always tell you in the videos, you get the processed cheese that has the preservatives and it's kind of waxy when you melt it. It's okay, but no, I prefer the grated fresh. So we got 2 cups in there. Onions and garlic going in. Then we're going to mix it all together. Make sure this is well incorporated. This is going to be a delicious side dish, I guarantee you. Very popular. I mean, potatoes, are you kidding? Potatoes, everybody loves potatoes. Add some cream cheese, sour cream, cheese. What more do you want? Make sure everything's well incorporated, especially your spices. Normally, which I should have done, was once you put the potatoes in, put the spices in and toss it so you won't have to do so much work to get it incorporated. On the same medium heat, we're going to melt our melt our butter, and then this is for our cracker topping. We're using Ritz crackers. Buttery, add butter to that. You can't go wrong. So we used 2 tablespoons of butter from the stick to saute our onions, and the rest of the stick is going in here for our topping. And I like to do my crumbs by hand. If you put it in the food processor, it's going to be too fine. And you want it to really be crunchy. And this is fun. Let the kids do it. They have fun smashing up things. So we're getting this ready. And when our butter's melted, we're going to toss it together, and we're going to use this for our crunchy, buttery topping. Our butter's melted, and I used the same pan as I sauteed the onions because that's just going to give it an extra dimension of flavor. Now we turn it off and pour in your crackers, and you just want to gently toss them. So we have the butter in here, and we just kind of want to toss it around till it evenly coated the crumbs. Okay, so now we have our 9x13 casserole dish, and we're going to put all this yumminess in here and spread it evenly. Okay, get this all evenly distributed. A spatula works nice. And we have it, you want it to be pretty even because you want it to cook evenly. Okay, now this part is up to you. It says to add 2 cups of cheese to the top, but you can add as much cheese as you like. The cheesier the better. That's why they call them cheesy potatoes. But I have about, this is about 2 cups. Our crumbs are cooled off a little, so now I'm trying to break down any big pieces that were in there because I don't want huge pieces. And I also want to make sure it has plenty of butter on everything. And it looks like it does, so all that's left to do is top our delicious casserole and stick it in the oven at 350 for 55 minutes. Make sure you have clean hands. Wash your hands constantly. See how my hands are old? I'm constantly washing them. Okay, my casserole's ready to pipe in the oven. It's already set at 350. We're going to put it in there for about 40 minutes. Check it at 30 minutes because ovens vary. So you just want to check it about 30 minutes until it's golden brown and bubbly. You'll see the cheese bubbling. about 40 minutes and it'll be ready to go. Now you could use, like I said, panko. You could use potato chips. I had those once with crushed potato chips. It was so delicious. So let's put it in the oven. And we'll see you back here in Deb's kitchen in 40 minutes. Here it is. Wow. Tell me that doesn't look scrumptious. Here you go. In Deb's kitchen, this smell is amazing. You can smell the buttery crunchiness to it. And normally I would dive right in, but this is another party dish. We're in the holidays and everything I make is probably going to some party. But take my word, it's delicious. And if you want to see more, don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the notifications. And if you want to leave a comment, go ahead and do that. The recipe's in the description. It's easy. Anybody could do this dish.